All right, we're here for The Wrath and the Dawn. I have reviewed the prequels. I will link the story. I will link it below. Um, so yeah, I will link the prequel reviews below. We have done that, and let's just start with the synopsis right away. One life to one dawn. In a land ruled by a murderous boy king, each dawn brings heartache to a new family. Khalid, the 18-year-old Caliph of Khorasan, is a monster. Each night he takes a new bride, only to have a silk cord wrapped around her throat come morning. When 16-year-old Shahrazad's dearest, friend falls victim to Khalid, Shahrazad vows vengeance and volunteers to be his next bride. Shahrazad is determined not only to stay alive, but to end the Caliph's reign of terror once and for all. Night after night, Shahrazad beguiles Khalid, weaving stories that ensuring her survival, though she knows each dawn could be her last. But something she never expected begins to happen. Khalid is nothing like what she'd imagined him to be. This monster is a boy with a tormented heart. Incredibly, Shahrazad finds herself falling in love. How is this possible? It's an unforgivable betrayal. Still, Shahrazad has come to understand all is not as it seems in this palace of marble and stone. She resolves to uncover whatever secrets lurk and, despite her love, be ready to take Khalid's life as retribution for the many lives he's stolen. Can their love survive this world of stories and secrets? Okay, so I believe I explained it in one of the prequels, but in case you don't know, The Wrath and the Dawn is a retelling of 1001 Nights. 1001 Nights is it's a bunch of stories that are loosely connected by this narrative that I'm about to describe. And basically, the narrative is this. This king finds out that his wife is cheating on him. He kills her, and in order, resolving not to be cheated on again, he ends up marrying a woman every night and kills her every morning. So at some point, Shahrazad, who is his vizier's daughter, ends up marrying him. And she's like, she has a plan though, not to die. And she's just like, the very first night, she like tells him a story, and what she does is every night she tells him a story, but she ends the nights with a cliffhanger where it weaves into another story. And that's how she keeps herself alive. From 1001 Nights is where we get stories like Aladdin, by the way. So that's something that I can tell you about it. So, this sounded kind of interesting because I do like the mythology. The mythology is cool. But this book fails on retelling and everything else. So the Shahrazad part where she is trying to like tell stories, we kind of see it at least twice in the book, but that's it. Like, we don't get stories. Like, we just get like, oh, there's a point where I think she told them at least one story that we got to see, at least two stories, right? And there's a point where she's just like, where she's like, he comes in every night, I tell him a story, and that's it, right? Like, that's it. That's all that kind of happens. Like, she doesn't, like, there are not a lot of scenes where they do where they actually go into the stories, because it's supposedly she just told them stories and that's what we know. Another thing that this book doesn't do, and I talked about this in the prequel, in the first prequel, which was The Moth and the Flame. Another thing that this book doesn't do is that it says they're in love, but we don't get to see the romance journey. The emotional beats are skipped. Oh, what fell? My charger? Which one? Oh, here it is. So, sorry guys. So yeah, the emotional beats of how they fell in love and or whatever, we don't get to see the emotional beats. They kind of just like, we're just supposed to believe that they fell in love. The author skips the emotional beats, so the writing is good. Like the writing, like it's like the prose is amazing, but the story lacks emotional beats. It doesn't have them. By the way, I'm sorry guys, I'm eating chocolate while I'm recording. So yeah. Also, I hope you can see me. But yeah, the guy, basically what we have is that we don't have the emotional beats that prove it to be a romance, and the tension that is supposed, like she does tension kind of okay, but like all we saw is kind of like attraction that Scheherazade has toward Khalid. Like that is kind of what we have, and I don't know. There's like, that's kind of what it's missing. It's missing the actual emotional beats. It's missing the character development, because there's very little character development in this story. I feel like the characters are kind of flat in the story, and the magic is not as well explained, but I don't mind. So so yeah, there's very little in this book that I can actually talk about, because the story didn't have any substance to it, and like the prose was good, but the characters not so much. So yeah, the romance didn't work out. Even the friendships worked out much better, but not as much either. Like even like the friendship between Scheherazade and Despina, I don't feel like it just worked out too well. But it kind of worked, but like not a lot. I don't know what to say to that. Like I don't know how else to do that. Like it just didn't feel, I don't feel like this book ended up like working out so well. I think that this book just could have been better. It could have been, if we had the emotional beats, the ending would actually make some sense, and we didn't even get flashbacks to establish some things, and I don't know, could have been better. Those are my thoughts, honestly. That's it. That's all I have. Those are my thoughts, and I'll be reviewing 2 other things from this, and we'll see, right? Anyway, I'll see you in my next video. Until then, consume stories. Remember to subscribe. Bye!